What are some physical problems that can prevent you from getting behind the wheel?
Physicals, problems that can prevent me from getting behind the wheel. Let me think. That's a tough one.
If I break my arm or my leg.
Broken arms and legs, that can help.
If my feet were broken.
Probably if I was decapitated.
Eyesight, if my eyes fell out, too, that'd be bad.
Welcome to License to Drive. Our ability to see and to hear, our reflexes, may be a disability. Even our age, all of these natural factors can impact our ability to drive. Other physical conditions like fatigue or illness, though temporary, can be deadly if ignored. We must make sure that our bodies and minds are tuned into the task of driving every time we get behind the wheel.
The day of my math final, I woke up and I was never so sick in my life. But my teacher said there was no makeup, so I had to go. On my way there, I could barely concentrate on anything that was going on around me. My fever was so high. I was tired, I was achy, I just felt lousy. Luckily, I had the presence of mind to take my time and drive slow. As it turns out in the end, I did poorly on my math exam. So next time I wake up and I'm sick, I'm just gonna stay home.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I think I ripped my contact, though.
Do you want me to drive?
No, it's okay. I'll just take it out. I wish I had brought my disposables with me. I could just replace it, but I'll just pop another one in when I get home.
You're not going to try to drive with, like, one eye, are you?
Oh, don't make such a big deal. I can see as much as I need to.
Stop! You almost hit that guy walking.
Oh, I didn't even see him.
Dara, I don't think this is a good idea.
I'm telling you, it's fine.
Oh, great. Dara!
Oh, no, my mother's car!
What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
Didn't you see me?
I guess I was distracted.
Get your registration and insurance.
Let's see what happened here. Dara's first mistake was obvious. She should have never tried to drive with only one of her contacts. Not only was her vision impaired, she was distracted as well and almost hit a pedestrian in the parking lot. She was lucky, and so was he. But her luck didn't last. Dara's depth perception, her ability to judge the distance between two objects, was impaired. This entire situation could have been avoided if Dara had simply brought a spare set of contacts or glasses with her. And Marilyn would have been a real friend if she had insisted on driving for Dara. She would have saved them both from a big headache. Every jurisdiction requires that you meet a minimum vision standard to obtain a driver's license. If your eyesight requires you to wear corrective lenses, wear them every time you drive. If you wear contacts, bring a spare set of glasses, just in case. If you have color blindness, difficulty identifying colors, you'll need to memorize signals and their meaning. When you're driving, your peripheral vision, what you see to either side, narrows as you increase speed. At 30 miles per hour, your peripheral vision may be reduced by 30%, and at 60 miles per hour by as much as 90%. This is why you must scan around you at all times. Our vision is one of the most important abilities we rely on when it comes to driving. But always be aware of your overall physical condition, too. If you're not feeling well enough to engage in your normal day-to-day activities, you don't belong in the driver's seat.
What is the ability to judge the distance between two objects called A, field of vision, B, depth perception, C, central vision, or D, peripheral vision? The answer is B, depth perception.
Name some things that make you tired while driving.
Just driving for too long. If it's real late and I'm driving.
The white lines in the middle of the road, the little dashes started to kind of hypnotize me after a while.
Classical music.
Slow traffic.
Slow people in front of me.
I don't catch these, baby.
We all know what it's like to feel tired. Blurred vision, slowed reaction, lack of coordination, and problems judging distance and speed are all symptoms. As a passenger in a car, you've probably nodded off now and then. But as a driver, feeling tired is the last thing you want. It can affect your reaction time and decision-making skills, greatly increasing your chances of being involved in a collision.
It's very important as a young driver to understand that you must be wide awake and alert when driving. We've often seen many crashes that occur because the driver is fatigued. If you are tired, it's important that you either pull over and rest in a safe area or allow someone else to drive the vehicle for you.
Are you sure you're okay to drive? You seem a bit tired. It's only like 6:30 in the morning. I didn't even get in until midnight last night, and you were still up watching that Star Trek marathon.
Hey, those were the lost episodes. I just want to get to the lake house by 10 o'clock. It's going to be so great without the folks around.
Phil, do you think driving all the way there is a good idea right now? You look like you can barely keep your eyes open, and we haven't even gotten out of town yet.
Okay. I'll pull off for a minute. I'll get a snack, and I'll be set. I guess we'll be staying here for a while. The lake isn't going anywhere.
It's tough to stay alert, especially on long trips. Philip's problem was simply caused by lack of sleep. He was planning this trip for a while, and instead of making sure he got plenty of sleep the night before, he went to bed too late and got up too early. Temporary fixes help, like splashing water on your face, walking and getting some fresh air. But they are not a cure for real fatigue. Philip finally made the right decision. There is no better solution than just pulling over in a well-lit public place and getting some rest.
Driver 1 was driving late at night in the left-hand lane of a straight, flat highway. He fell asleep and began to drift across the right-hand lane in front of Driver 2 and off the side of the road. Driver 2 thought that Driver 1 was pulling off the roadway. She slowed down but did not change lanes as she went past Driver 1. At that moment, Driver 1 woke up and veered suddenly to the left, back onto the roadway and collided with Driver 2. Who's at fault? Driver 1 was at fault for the collision. By drifting across another lane of traffic and back onto the roadway without checking for the presence of another vehicle, he behaved recklessly. Fatigue is never an excuse for causing a crash. Driver 2, however, could have also taken steps to avoid the crash. She should have suspected that the erratic behavior of Driver 1 was a symptom of fatigue, especially since the incident occurred late at night. Had she been more alert, she would have increased her space cushion and moved into the left lane to get as far away from the other vehicle as possible.
The bottom line is, don't drive if you're fatigued. There are several things you can do to prevent fatigue. Always get a good night's sleep. Try not to drive during your normal sleeping hours. Don't drink alcohol, and avoid eating large meals before driving. Caffeine and sugar only mask the symptoms of fatigue. You'll even be more tired when their effects wear off. If you aren't tired when you start, but get tired while you're driving, the best thing to do is let a better rested person do the driving. By yourself, find a safe spot to pull over, lock your doors, and take a nap.
Name some ways to combat fatigue while you're driving. You can open your windows, talk to passengers, listen to music, adjust the heat or air conditioning to avoid extreme temperatures, or wear sunglasses if there's sun glare.
What are some things that you do when you get angry at another driver?
I honk the horn.
Honk my horn. I scream.
Basically, just give them peace of my mind.
Nothing. I don't do anything. I'm a passive driver.
Road rage is a term used to describe the behavior of people who take their aggressions out on other drivers. Tailgating, yelling, deliberately cutting off other drivers or blocking their paths, using obscene gestures or language. These are all examples of raging. Avoid confrontation with these people at all costs and do everything you can to keep your own feelings of anger out of the car.
We're trying to concentrate on a lot of things while we're responding to calls, where it's at, what could be wrong, and now we have to deal with some guy who's yelling at us, cursing at us, and we have to worry about him following us to the scene, giving us a hard time, and hampering our patient care.
Mike and I were all ready to go to the prom. It was just 2 weeks away. We ordered flowers, got a limo, rented our tuxes. All that planning, and he never got to go. Mike was out on a date with his girlfriend, Sue. Her friends told me that she was planning on breaking up with him that night and going with someone else to the prom. I guess she must have told him while he was driving, and he just lost it. You know? Didn't even have enough sense to pull over. Witnesses said Mike and Sue were arguing. He was driving like a maniac, weaving in and out of traffic, cutting people off. They said he cut off an 18-wheeler and caught a piece of the truck's fender with his back bumper. He lost control. He ended up jumping the concrete wall of the highway and wedging himself between it and a metal support beam. When the rescue workers got there, it was obvious they died on impact. They told me their bodies were just hanging out of the car, their legs trapped in the wreckage. Even if they had survived, they would have never been able to walk again. They dedicated a page in the yearbook to Mike and Sue. I still can't look at it without choking up. Man, we were supposed to go to college together. I just don't get it. Why did she have to make him mad while he was driving? And why didn't he pull over instead of driving like a psycho? I think about Mike and Sue a lot. If I'm angry, I always stop and calm down before I drive now. I'm extra careful when I have someone else in the car with me. Mike's girl might have broken his heart, but she didn't deserve to die.
Before getting on the road, do a mood check. If you're angry, don't drive. Cool down first. Take a walk. Talk to friends. Never combine alcohol or drugs with driving. If someone makes you mad while you're driving, pass up the urge to honk or flash your lights. Don't chase the other driver or even make eye contact. It's just not worth it. Stop and get in control of your emotions. And once you do control your temper, realize that not everyone out there has that control. Be courteous. Don't tailgate, block the passing lane, or switch lanes without signaling first. In rare cases, road ragers can become violent. If you feel intimidated, drive to the nearest well-lit, busy place. Use your cell phone to call the police, or honk your horn to attract attention.
If another driver tries to cut you off, what should you do? A, flash your high beams, B, honk your horn, C, accelerate, or D, ease up on the gas pedal. The answer is D, ease up on the gas pedal.
What are some things that distract you most when driving?
Women.
My friends.
Girls. Definitely the CD player.
Girls.
My car phone.
Girls.
Talking to other people in the car, loud music.
Females.
Loud people in the backseat of my car.
Girls. Girls distract you the most.
A focused driver can react quickly to road dangers. Any distraction that takes your attention away from driving can cause you to make poor decisions and miss valuable clues on the road ahead that might save you from having a collision.
A few weeks ago, I was on the highway right in the middle of rush hour. Traffic was starting and stopping a lot, and at one point, I turned around to the back seat to grab a water bottle. And in those couple seconds that I took my eyes off the road, my car rolled a couple feet ahead of me right into this truck and caused a major accident. I was completely shaken up. I couldn't believe that in only a couple seconds of not paying attention, this could have happened, because there's extensive damage to my car, and luckily I wasn't hurt.
Shouldn't you have done all that before we actually started moving?
Yeah, I guess so. I just can't seem to find a decent song on the radio. I'll just put in a tape.
Why don't you let me pick it?
No way. The last time you picked the music, people were looking at us funny.
Jules, are you paying attention to the road?
Huh?
Stop! It's a red light.
Well, the light was green a second ago.
Well, it changed while you were playing around with your tape player.
Well, the light sure didn't allow much time for driver error, did it?
That's because you're not supposed to make any.
I guess not.
Julie is totally distracted. She's paying attention to just about everything else but the road. She even neglected to put her seatbelt on. Always buckle up even before you put the key in the ignition. Finally, Julie nearly runs a red light. Timing was right. You aren't supposed to make mistakes on the road. One little mistake, like being too distracted to see a red light, can cost lives. Minimize distractions by creating a routine for yourself every time you get in a car. Fasten your safety belt, adjust your seat and mirrors, and find the music you want to listen to before you put the car in gear. Driving is not the time to apply makeup, eat food, look at a map, or talk on the phone, or anything that causes you to take your eyes off the road or your hands off the steering wheel. Ask your passengers, including young children, to refrain from distracting behavior. Of course, they must wear their safety belts. Also, secure any pets. Stay focused on the road at all times for your own safety and for those around you.
If a bee flies into the back of your car, what should you do? A, roll up the window, B, pull over and get out, C, honk for help, or D, try to swat it. The answer is B, pull over and get out.
So, you've learned that you must be in top physical condition when you drive. If you wear glasses or contacts, bring an extra pair along. Avoid driving when you are ill. Admit to fatigue by pulling off the road in a safe place to rest, or let someone else drive. Drinking coffee is not the solution. Be courteous to other drivers. Road rage kills. If you feel angry or depressed, don't drive. Never combine driving with alcohol or drugs. Avoid drivers who are behaving erratically. Finally, Keep all distractions inside your car to an absolute minimum. Treat driving as though it is a sacred trust each and every time you get behind the wheel. Be safe.